say, but wrapping it up in his special way. Throw in a preview show, add some alcohol, and here we go. Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman, Senor Batman.
Hola, senors! It is I, Senor Batman, with your week 6 wrap up in your week 7 preview show. It's Sunday morning, so I'm not going to waste much time. It's going to probably be a little bit shorter episode, but I figure, hey, right now there's already a game going on in London as I talk to you, so let's get to it. And I'm not going to have, the cutaways or anything. We're just going to go one take this shit and get it right on through. So, cut to this. Boom, boom, and here we are at week 6 wrap up. First up, Chronic Roster Beta versus Rake Session. Both teams were first in the division going into this matchup. Chronic Roster Beta pulls out the victory, 120.2 to 107. Gets a big victory and continues his onslaught. He is 6-0. Rake Session moves to 4-2. Next up, you got Peterson. Adrian Peterson versus Richmond Rush, who was both second place teams in each division right now. And actually, that's not totally true. Peterson was actually third going into this matchup, now that I remember. But Richmond Rush gets a motherfucking beatdown. Just boom, just fucks him up. 125.6 to 64.4. Huge victory for Richmond Rush. Adrian Peterson wasn't having a good day at all. His best guy was his kicker. I mean, bad week for Peterson, but we'll see if he can turn it around week 7. Next up, Martial Law gets a huge victory over I'm Sofa King Retarded. 127.9 to 104.1. Gronk finally comes alive, gives Martial Law a big game and the victory. Next up, Stacey Slayers, who was 0-3 to start, is now at 500 because he gets a victory over Ray Charles Moneyball. 126 to 101.6. So, Drew Brees got him 32.6 points. He traded for him a couple weeks ago. Definitely helped him out. So, Stacey Slayers now is 3-3. And Ray Charles Moneyball is 2-4. We'll get to records, though, when we get to the standings. Next up, welcome to Bohack's Pit versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Bohack really beat you. Wow, that's terrible. It's not my best one. But anyhow, Bohack's Pit, 111.6. Gets actually a pretty decent score compared to what he's been doing lately. Got a lot of help from Lamar Miller on Sunday Night Football. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who's just kind of been struggling as of late, just gets 68 points. It's kind of, he's 1-5. And that one, he was high score that week. And it's really confusing. Bohack's Pit, I mean, maybe he's starting to turn it around, so we'll see. But Bohack's Pit gets the victory, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he gets a louse. Finally, El Sacco, high score for the week, 160, beating hashtag Wide Receivers Matter, 114.4. Not a bad score for Wide Receivers Matter, but El Sacco, his team is pretty stacked. It's not... Everyone's kind of like, oh, do you got some love affair for his team? No. But if you look at his team, here, just look at his team. I mean, it's going to be a little different because this was last week. Oh, this was from last week. No, let's go look at week 6. Week 6, he's got Tom Brady, Le'Veon Bell, Christian Michael, Julio Jones, Brandon Marshall. I mean, he's got a good team. So that's what I'm trying to say to you guys, is that he's got a good team. If they perform like they should, it's a lot of big names. So that's why he gets high score this week. He gets the victory. Let's go to the standings. Okay, in Division Uno, sitting alone atop Division Uno is Chronic Roster Beta at 6-0. Then you got Welcome to Bohack's Pit, 5-1, one game back. Stacey Slayers and Peterson, Adrian Peterson, both at 3-3. Hashtag Wide Receivers Matter at 1-5. And I'm Sofa King Retarded at 0-6. Still has not gotten a victory. We look at points. Chronic Roster Beta straight up walloping this league right now, almost by a full 90 points. Almost over 90 points. But anywho, he's in first place. Second place in points right now, Stacey Slayers. Then Peterson, Adrian Peterson. Then Wide Receiver Matter, I'm So Fucking Retarded. In fourth, or fifth, excuse me, and then welcome Boak's picking sixth. So Boak really needs to keep winning his games because he is pretty far down in points in order to make that spot. So right now, if this was the end of the season, Kronk Rosterbader, Boax Pitt, and Slacy Slayers would be your three teams. Over in Division Dos, click this so this is just ready. Richmond Rush sits now atop the leaderboard at 5-1. Rake Session sits at 4-2 in second, based on record. Then you have El Sacco and Martial Law, both 3-3. Ray Charles Moneyball 2-4. Teenage Mutant Ninja Bortles at 1-5. Based on points, El Sacco would be your third place team. So that's that. Martial Law, Teenage Mutant Ninja Bortles need to start scoring some more points because El Sacco has 100 more points than him. Ray Charles Moneyball, though, has been doing better of it as of late. So he is kind of starting to get some points. We'll see if he can make a run for the championship. So that is that. And actually, I don't have the Facebook post already. So if you want to go see it, go to the Facebook group and look at it, right? All right, so let's go to the preview show. Preview show. And we're here at the preview show. Oh, man. This is not what I was looking for. I was looking for the preview show. Well, this is what's going to work. Preview show. So, got first up. Well, we'll actually go to who's first up, which is Peterson. Adrian Peterson versus Martial Law. Martial Law projected to get the victory. He's already got 5.2 from Todd Gurley at halftime of today. This one's kind of straightforward for me. Really is. Now, if Pryor doesn't play, I guess he'll probably start. Actually, I don't know who he'd start. I don't know who he's going to start at all. I guess he's going to just take the loss. I guess he'd have to drop someone. I don't know what he's going to do. But anyhow, maybe he won't do nothing. He'll take a 0, and, that's that. Anywho, so he's starting Rivers over here. Roethlisberger out. Hyde out. Adrian Peterson on IR. He's really taken, as far as injury hits, him and probably I'm Sofa King Weetaded have had just the worst luck. He has lost basically 3 of his top players, maybe even his 3 top players, if you don't count, well, Antonio Brown would definitely be his top, but he's lost a lot of big pieces to his team. And he's going to go with Jerick McKinnon, Sproles at running back, Antonio Brown and Hilton at wide receiver. Hopefully they can do some things for him. Antonio Gates at tight end, Pierre Garçon and Aguilar in flex. Bengals' defense against Cleveland. Matt Prater versus Washington. Over here, he's starting Cousins, Freeman, Gurley, Pryor, Sanu, Gronk. So this one, I think, just putting it out there, I think it's going to be close. And I'm actually going to call this my upset of the week. Is that Peterson, Adrian Peterson gets the win. And it's just because, yes, some of these guys should do well. But none of these people do I go, oh, wow, he's got some really good things going on here. Gronk, could do Gronk things, but Freeman, Coleman, maybe one of them does. It's kind of iffy for me. So what I'm going to go with is that Adrian Peterson gets the victory. Next up, I'm so fucking retarded versus Richmond Rush. Now, Richmond Rush already has 23.7 points from the Thursday night football game. They are projecting him to get a pretty decent-sized victory, but let's take a look. Mariota against Indiana should be good. Forte versus Baltimore. Forte, I don't know what's going on with him, so we'll see what happens there. Gordon versus Atlanta. Atlanta's pretty good, so I don't know. Green versus Cleveland should be good. Bolden versus Washington should be good as long as he gets in the end zone. He seems to be kind of a touchdown-dependent player. Clay against Miami. Clay has been, since Watkins been out, has been actually pretty decent. These 3 weeks here, you can see, decent enough, especially for a tight end. Then he's got Terrence West at running back. He's good. Robert Woods is not playing. He's doubtful. I don't know why he's in his lineup. I don't know who else he can start. Let's take a look. A lot of O's and Q's, and yeah, he'd have to drop someone and pick someone up. So that's that. Anywho, then Richmond Rush. All right, Rogers go has Ware, Ajayi. Let's end it there. Richmond Rush is gonna get this victory. I mean, I know Kronk Rosterbader. We talk, and I'm guessing he really wants so fucking retarded to get this victory. Mainly because Richmond Rush has one less win streak. As far as the win streak goes, he's at 5. Chronic Rossberger's at 6. If Rossberger were to lose today and Richmond Rush wins, they're tied for win streak. So I'm sure he's wanting Weetah to get the win. But I think Richmond Rush gets the victory. Hey, I picked you 2 weeks in a row. Oh, holy shit. Oh, call the fucking fire department. I did it. Anywho. I mean, it was a little bit of an overreaction. I'm sorry, but calling me out. Think I don't take that personal? Anywho. Cronk Rossberger for his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Right now, Cronk Rossberger is barely projected to win. He has had Alshon Jeffrey go already, 4.8, not a good total. Beckham right now in the third quarter only has 2.4, not a good total. But he does have Stafford versus Washington, which should be decent. Although I do know Sua Cravens is back. David Johnson is a beast. You can see when he's faced tough defenses in the past, Tampa wasn't a terrible defense back here, only 15 points. Buffalo, decent defense. Same thing with LA. He's had lower totals before. He's been on a fucking tear as of late, but we'll see what happens against Seattle. I wouldn't expect a 30-point game, but we'll see what he does. Crowell against Cincinnati is actually one of those ones where I've seen this week a lot of people are kind of tossed up on. Some are saying it's going to be a great week because the Cincinnati defense isn't super good against the run. And then I've seen other people saying Crowell is losing snaps to Duke Johnson, and it's going to depend on game flow. So that's kind of a toss-up. We'll see what happens there. Mike Evans against San Francisco should be a great matchup. Beckham against LA was actually a good matchup, but he hasn't done anything since. Doesn't mean that something can't happen. Last week, too, it was the second half. He got 2 touchdowns. So Delaney Walker against Indy is a good matchup if they throw to him, and not Anthony Fasano like last week. He's taking a stab at Mike Davis, starting running back this week for the San Francisco 49ers against a Tampa defense that has allowed a lot of yards. I think over 400 yards in the last 4 games. Then you got Vikings D against Philly. Hey, it's a rookie quarterback. Vikings D has been freaking good. I could see them rattling him and getting to him and making some mistakes. Vinatieri, always a good kicker. Over here, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles last week had a good matchup. What did he do with it? 10 points. You can see he's been kind of all over the place, so we don't know what he's going to do. Oakland is a good matchup, but we don't know. Hill against Cleveland should be good. Yeldon against Oakland. Yeldon last week didn't do shit, so who knows what's going to happen there. Good matchup, but not great, but good. So you'll see. Landry and Macklin. Macklin hasn't done shit this year. He's got a good matchup, so it's always possible, but we don't know. Same thing with Landry. He's been good this year. Against Buffalo, though, they've been pretty stout. Although last week, Miami also played like they were good. Ertz versus Minnesota. Minnesota is insane, so we'll see what happens with Ertz. Stephon Diggs, if he plays. Let's take a look if he's playing. Well, they're saying he's going to play, so Diggs versus Philly. Philly is tough against the pass, but they did get exploited last time, so we'll see what happens. Because Stafford tore him up. Anywho, then Duke Johnson, kind of the contrarian play to Crowell. If that rings true, Duke Johnson might end up being okay. Cardinals D in Seattle actually could be good. Wilson hasn't been himself as of late. I mean, he did have some time off, so that should help, but basically what I'm going to go with here, this is a tough one. It really is, because if you would have asked me Thursday, I would have said Chronic Rossberger's got this in the bank. But Jeffrey has done nothing so far. Beckham has done nothing. So, and right now he's projected to lose. He's actually projected to lose by 0.2. So this isn't an underdog story, but I think Chronic Rossberger gets the victory. I think that it's just, he's got a team here of people that are very iffy, Very iffy. So we'll see what happens. But, excuse me. They're very iffy. It's just like, sometimes they do good, sometimes they don't. We don't know. Whereas I kind of feel like Evans, Johnson, Stafford, maybe even Walker should do pretty good. Same with Vikings D. So I'm going to give the win to Cronk Rosterbear, but I will not be surprised if he takes his first loss to the 1-5 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Next up, welcome to Bohack's Pit versus Rick Session. Welcome to Bohack's Pit. Ari had 11 points from Packers D, 5 from Zach Miller, 0.1 from Niall Davis. Now, I saw this in show prep, and I gotta be honest, what the hell have you been listening to or reading that said, hey, Pick up Niall Davis and start him. He's not been on the team ever. He hasn't even been on the team a week as of today, Sunday. So why would you start a guy that clearly doesn't know the offense when everything everyone's saying is Montgomery and Jackson, Montgomery and Jackson, Montgomery and Dash, and you start him? You must be in some dire straits. You don't have Beasley. I mean, should have started Tavon Austin instead of Fedorowicz. 13 points. What are you doing? I mean, I don't know. You got me going crazy over here. I would have started Asiato over him. Any of these guys, really. And it's just, I don't know what you were thinking. But anywho, he's already got 17.7 points. Meanwhile, Rake Session got 23.8 and 8. He is projected right now to beat him by a hefty score. Like almost 50, 60 points. And I agree. Rake Session is going to give a motherfucking beatdown to Welcome to Bohack's Pit. That's what's going to happen there. I don't think I've called one of those this year. This one's going to happen. Next up, Slay City Slayers versus El Saco. Well, Slay City Slayers has already got 17.6 from Montgomery, but only got 1.7 from Meredith. If you look at that, he got about 9 points in his flex from each position if you want to add it together and split it, like average points. So, not terrible, but, it would have been real good if you had had someone else put Meredith in there, but Meredith has been good until now. So, Drew Brees against Kansas City. Kansas City can be a good defense, so we'll see if that, I don't know if he'll have a huge game or not. Same thing with Ingram. They've kind of been, Kansas City had a slump to start, but in the last few games have kind of come back, so we'll see what happens. Blount, that one's a little bit questionable for me. James White has really been doing good. Blount has not been doing as good. He's, 14 last week is good. He got in the end zone. If you take away that end zone touch, though, a little bit lower points. So, that'd have been, 8 points? Which wouldn't have been what you're looking for. So, anyways, Robinson should have a good week against Oakland, but we don't know. Jacksonville's a very hard offense. Can't predict. It's a thing. Same thing with Crabtree. Did nothing last week. Had been a star, but Cooper has really kind of taken over the offense, and now Crabtree's kind of in the last week. Cameron Brate should be good. Meredith and Montgomery already went. Eagles against Minnesota. Now that's another thing. So who knows what's going to happen there. So I'm not even going to go through the team because I kind of already went over it. El Sacco's going to get the victory here. El Sacco is going to get the victory here. He's just got too good. I mean, if Miami could tear apart that Pittsburgh defense, I'm almost positive Tom Brady will. Le'Veon Bell, if they stay in the game, he'll be part of it anyways because he catches passes. I believe this will be a close game, so Michael should get enough carries. Julio Jones against San Diego. Julio Jones might have another 300-yard game. Jason Verrett is gone. He is done for the season. So Julio Jones is going to be going up against a really shitty San Diego defensive backfield. Then you got Brandon Marshall. He's the only one on the Jets you can really trust. Baltimore is not the best matchup, but it's not the worst. Barnage, if Pryor's out, Barnage is going to be basically left. And then James White should be good. So I'm going to say El Sacco gets the victory over Slay City Slayers. So we'll go with that. Finally, hashtag White Receivers Matter versus Ray Charles Moneyball. Both had people go. Both had people fuck them over. Jordy Nelson, 1.4 points. Jordan Howard over for Ray Charles Moneyball, 2.2 points. Well, he's got the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton, over on this side against Cleveland. Should be good. Charles, if he gets born to think, if New Orleans should be okay. Still was okay last week. Frank Gore against Tennessee. That's a tough matchup. Gore is good, but Tennessee is a really good run defense. Edelman, who knows? What's going on with Edelman? I don't know. He should be doing good, but we'll see. Hunter Henry has been steady of his late. We'll see if Gates gets a little bit more involved and he gets involved a little bit less. Snead against Kansas City should be okay. Kenny Britt only has got 1.9 as of right now. We'll see what happens there. Patriots D against Pittsburgh should be pretty good. I mean, they're no Roethlisberger, so that could lead to good things. Andrew Luck versus Tennessee. They're going to probably have to pass to be successful, so Luck should be okay. Jacquizz should be a really good matchup against San Francisco. I mean, he's not David Johnson, but David Johnson burned him for 32 fantasy points, so he should do okay. Fitzgerald against Seattle, I think they're going to need to throw a little bit in that game at least to be successful, so Fitzgerald is kind of their number one guy right now. We'll see what happens, but Emmanuel Sanders versus Houston, Sanders is kind of the number one guy there. Bennett, we'll see what happens with him and Gronk. Kelsey in the flex against the Saints should be good. He started 3 tight ends. Vernon Davis against Detroit it's actually a good matchup, so we'll see what happens there. Seahawks D, well, this is really a tough one. Both of them are projected to score like right around 100 points. Since they're projecting him to lose worse, and because Jordy Nelson only got 1.4, and Jordy Nelson's probably a guy that when you drafted him, you thought he was going to be your number 1 receiver, or at least your number 2 receiver. So I'm going to go with hashtag wide receivers matter with the upset of the week. And it's not a huge upset, I know, but I think it'll be upset of the week. So, that is your episode of Senor Batman. It's going to be about 20-ish minutes. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry it's late. Next week, hopefully we'll get back on track. Unless the commissioner's baby comes, then who knows what'll happen with the show. Maybe he'll just leave me out here to do it alone. I don't fucking know. Guys going and fucking knocking up women. His wife. Like, oh, okay, it was sort of family. It was great. It's not mine, though. It's definitely not my baby. I never slept. I mean, I know there was that one time I slept with his wife, but we're not going to talk about that. It's definitely not my baby. I'm not expecting him to come out with a sombrero on his head. Oh, yeah. But anyhow, definitely not my baby. Anyhow, we're going to move on now, and I want you all to have a great Sunday, or Monday if you need someone to go good on Monday, but have a great week, and everyone, enjoy and be safe. Adios!